If you're a real estate investor, you know that branding is critical to your business. How you look online, how you look in your business cards, your logo, your name, these things, they really matter. But the question is, how much do they matter? And really, what are your sellers looking for? So if you want to build a business and a brand that speaks directly to your audience and helps you close more deals, then listen into this part of our conversation. Any other spots besides your website you're paying attention to keep your branding consistent? Because we're talking about conversion, like website conversion, but holistically, I feel like that brand matters. Can you guys talk about that?
Yeah, you'll want to keep your brand consistent everywhere. So, all your social media profiles, your business cards, your email signature, your website, YouTube videos, you want to keep the colors, logos, look. As you can see, like I'm wearing a yellow shirt, Chad wears black shirt. Like we're even keep this kind of brand thing going.
Mm-hmm.
So keep everything because you want people to see when they see you. Oh yeah, that's 412 houses or that's whoever it is. Versus having a billboard with one logo and one brand, and then your website doesn't match it. You're losing the connection there.
Yeah, and brand isn't just colors and logo. Like that's not brand. Brand is tone as well and how people perceive you. So even like tone and font and everything of how that comes off, how that feel, how that look is, whether you want to be a more direct brand with capitalized font, straight to the point type style brand, or softer, lowercase fonts, really talking in a different way. So you gotta, if you establish it one way, it should always be that way. You shouldn't go this way then that way, because if you come off as a softer brand and then you shout at them through an ad that's all capitalized and everything, it's kind of just doesn't go together. And they look at you different ways, and it's more forgettable versus where if it's all in the same tone, it's more memorable. Oh, it's that company that makes me feel like X or makes me feel like this.
And when you're saying tone, I'm assuming you're meaning, it's interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that font at first, your font, your text, but you're also saying the message itself, right?
Yeah, the message itself. Are you using more direct statement-based messages? Are you doing stuff more around just like compound sentences saying like, hey, we can help you do X, Y, and Z. We're here to make you to do this. Or is it just, hey, we'll give you a cash offer today? Or is it, hey, we're here to help you get the best value out of your home? Whatever it may be. Those are awful examples, but just when you're talking in that manner, how direct do you want to be? How soft do you want to be? That should be held throughout the whole entire brand, everything that you do.
Okay, that makes sense. I feel like, myself and a lot of us would be so much better off to make a dead simple checklist of like, hey, I updated my logo, or I updated a key part of our messaging, or hey, I updated this thing. Okay, website, social media, not even just social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, email signature. Because usually like email signature is the thing we all forget. It's like, oh crap, I got a logo in there that's 4 years old, and it all adds up, and it makes for this really just like off, inconsistent experience. And so just a simple checklist of update all of these things so it's a cohesive look and feel would be probably pretty beneficial.
I agree.
Okay, so as we start to wrap it up, one other question I had for you guys. We kind of touched on this on the first episode, but as far as a great company logo, what makes a great logo, and how much does it matter?
Logo, I don't know necessarily what makes a great logo, but how much it matters. I think it matters 4 out of 10. Like the design of it. I think the message on your website and everything else we've been talking about matters way more than the logo, because you can get a logo made like our 412 houses logo probably costs $5 or something. Like it's cheap. It's super simple, but the whole brand behind it and the messaging is what I believe matters way more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it also, like, if you think about it as like, again, what's your goal? Is this like get leads, get deals, make money? If that's what you want to do, then like it doesn't matter at all. If you're building a whole legit real estate company behind all of this and building it out long-term culture, all of that, then okay, it might make sense to put more thought into that, have some meaning into that logo.
Mm-hmm.
But if at the end of the day, like you're just, hey, we want leads, we want deals, and that's what our culture is, and we're just driven like that, then it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, you know what, Chad? That's a good point you bring up too. So maybe I'll take a step back on what I said on a 4 out of 10. It matters for lead gen low, but if you're building a company with team and like Chad saying culture, it matters a lot then. So there's two different things there. Like you have to keep everything in sync with what is the message you're putting out to your team on how to behave and what are core values, things like that.
And if your goal is to build a company and make this full-time, big-time real estate company, it's fine also to just start with the basics. Start with something cheap, basic as it is, get some deals underneath your belt. With that, take some profits, reinvest, build out a whole brand. Then once it starts to get more serious. So it's not something that you should overthink up front. But as you build, and if you're building culture and internal team, all of that, then you can go more into that.
Now, you don't want the analysis of paralysis because you'll focus on your logo for months and never get to the next stage. So just get the logo, go get deals, and then, you can continually refine.
That's probably the best piece of advice in this entire month of podcasts, because I know that so many of us can just get stuck in overcomplicated analysis paralysis. I think about the home buying guys. They're clients of ours. They've been on multiple podcasts, but they started out, it was simple. We need leads, we need deals. But if you look at them now, in the question, in the context of like, does a logo matter to them? It really does, because they're building this long-term brand. They're a staple in their community. They're working with nonprofits. They're hybrid, so they're agents as well. So there's more of a public image that they're displaying. And so it started out really simple, but now they got the home buying guys logo, and the whole website's branded. They got the little characters like of them, animated faces, and it's this really cool, cohesive look and feel. But it started out like, we just need leads and deals. So I guess that's good context. It does depend on, is this a long-term play, or is this just a gig that I'm doing right now, or are you just starting out? But start out simple.
And you know what? That's a great example of brands. Like we were talking about looking like a bank versus local. Like the home buying guys, they make it just feels like, hey, I want to see what these guys are doing versus XYZ corporation franchise.
Yeah, it's a fun brand, which is, we could go all day on this sort of stuff, and we won't, but it's, that I think that's something you need to decide. Like Chad mentioned, your brand isn't your colors and your logos, it's that tone. And so you got to decide, is the company me, or is the company something else? Is it fun? Is it serious? Is it aggressive? I'd assume that it matters what your market cares about. What does your market expect? I hope you found this video helpful. If you want to dive deeper on all things website design and conversion, just go to carrot.com/convert, and we've linked up our best resources for you. Also, check out the links in the description below, and you can check out this full podcast episode. If you have any questions, or you feel like there's something you want to see covered in a future video, drop a comment. If you're a real estate investor or an agent and you have a logo without a house in it, and you are still getting deals, drop a comment and let us know. We'd love to see it. Maybe we'll even have you on the podcast. Until next time, we'll see you later.